out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Don't forget to hit them like buttons. Don't forget to hit them like buttons. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. It's Talk Shit Tuesday. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Dickie Foster in the house. Yo, my man, Band Dog in the house. The Insane Honey Badgers in the house. Yo, what up, fam? Big shout out to the 614 Tree. What up, fam? Yo, Merc Dog, I see you, fam. Big shout out to my man, Mr. William McNeil in the house. What up, fam? Genetics rocking in the house. Welcome to the Shark Tank, fam. I see you. Fresh DS, DGSB, I see you, fam. Big shout out to my man Double M Desbo in the house. What up, fam? AQ Henry 2.0 in the house. What up, fam? Hellraiser Gene Lewis in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man, Mr. Chico Nicholas in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to the one and only Eli Monster in the house. What up, fam? Yeah. What up? What up? What's up? Y'all know what time it is. Big shout out to everybody coming out here on this Tuesday night for this hot Talk Shit Tuesday. Let me see what we got going here. Make sure I ain't leave out nobody. Appreciate everybody for showing up. Appreciate everybody for showing up. Again, you know what I mean? Middle of the week. Shit be getting tight, man, but I'm here. I'm here. Hey, I ain't really have too much to talk about tonight. You know, as far as trying to get a certain subject covered. I think we covered a couple things over the last couple shows. But something I thought it was important to bring up, and especially on a night like tonight, you know, when you talk about that Talk Shit Tuesday, one of the biggest things that I always found at this game, you know what I'm saying, it was almost necessary, at least for yourself. You know, when it come down to these American Pit Bull Terriers, man, these dogs here, man, you got to keep it real. You know, and I say that because that keep it real, it go a long way. Not just for your yard, but how you treat people, how you do business with people, how you take care of your business. Because history has shown us the damage can be done when you don't keep it real. It's one of them things that it'd be all right. You know, it's like, you ever had a friend that, you know, y'all was out kicking it and you was hooked up in the club and you want your boy to lie for you, say, hey, we was at the bowling alley or some shit. And your friend just refused to do it. You know, one of them situations to where You leave your boy hanging, then now all of a sudden he mad at you because you won't co-sign for him. Well, in this game here, it was a whole lot of that going on. Broke up a lot of good relationships behind not trying to keep it real. You know, and then trying to drag other people in, and then you know things just turned real bad. And I say that because on many occasions you run across, you know, a, a person that you know, and you know the dog, and then all of a sudden, the dog ain't bred. They're selling dogs, but the dog ain't bred like they said the dog is bred. And you say, yo, I seen the paper, and you sold so and so a dog, and bred off of so and so. That ain't how that dog bred. Why you do a boy like that? You're a good dude. You know, do you keep that a secret? Do you try to go along with the situation? You know, how do you handle those type of things? Or your boy said, he's selling dogs, he's selling puppies, saying they bred a certain type of way, and then but they're not bred a certain type of way. I mean, it eventually comes back to haunt you because do you say something or you just keep it to yourself? Most of the time, the say the friendship, you try to keep it to yourself. But then the dogs get out there, and then the breeding turned out to be, everybody go to talking shit about the puppies and dogs off of so and so, they wasn't nothing. And then you think about, well, no wonder they wasn't nothing because they wasn't bred the way they said they was bred. There was a whole lot of that going on in the game. I'm pretty sure it's a whole lot of that going on now, considering that really there's no way of tracking that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Back in our time, at least we had, access, we didn't, papers. And then pretty much everybody got around, it's not really a big community, but the community is big enough that people have a certain type of relationships even in their areas. And you have so many people trying in those certain areas, trying to get trying to get it theirs in. When they try to tell you, hey man, just be real about it, man. There's enough out there for everybody. Well, not really, not in this game. Not really. Even though it's a big community, not everybody is, not everybody was putting their stock out there. Like we wasn't ones that was advertising selling dogs or puppies, you know. But then you had some that were doing advertising and got 2-3 litters, but 2-3 litters on the ground, and by the time you look up, they still selling the dogs out of the 1 litter. You done went through 2 litters out of this one dog. Really 3 litters out of one dog. So I guess all the dogs are supposed to be out that litter. And it's funny, man, because I, seen it happen, man. Seen it happen. And then you look at down the line the damage that part has done. People go to talking shit. Them dogs wasn't nothing. But that's only because they wasn't bred the way they said they were supposed to be bred. And it comes back to you done put a black mark on a situation, and then you turn around, but you got the real shit on your yard. Do you throw your boy under the bus and told him he was doing the foo to get your shit off? Because you're gonna be stuck with your shit because your shit was bred like that shit, and that shit wasn't shit. But that shit wasn't bred the right way, but yet you still sitting over here with a yard of it, of the right shit. those things lead to, like I said, falling outs. You know, we've seen it plenty of times. The whole Patrick thing, the Maurice Carver thing. Everybody, we use that excuse that not everybody wanted to let their salt, get their sauce out. Everybody protecting their sauce. That works sometimes. Sometimes. Because the reality of it is, if it's going to work for that person, then eventually the truth is going to come out. Because you're going to have people trying to breed a certain type of way based on some fake shit. And it turns out to be a good dog, but it's not that shit. And you don't want to spoil it. I think that's why Pat Patrick, if Buck hadn't never turned out to be shit, do you think he would have brought the truth to the light? I don't think so. So, that type of situation. But look at the damage it's done over the years, And then, that's just one example. What about the ones who have a hard time keeping it real just based off of the yard? You go out and you spend $2,500 on a dog. You get him home, you raise him up, 2.5 years in, you do, you're checking, and it turned out to be garbage. Is that $2,500 blown? Or do you turn around and brag on the fact that this dog is bred this certain type of way and you put it up for sale for $2,500? You pass that bullshit on to somebody else. Then they gonna get it home, and then they gonna do what you did, and they gonna get the same results. And then now you got an upset customer. True enough, you got your money back, but then you just passing it along. That type of shit there, it's not good for the game. Actually, it's not good for your business, especially if you're trying to move, be responsible and have some pride in what's in your yard. And it's always, for me, to always just keep it real about what you're seeing and what you're doing, because that's where for us, that's where the success comes from. Don't be running around like you got blinders on. You're one-sided. You're kennel blind. Or you find yourself in a situation that you got to lie to get, to do business and stuff like that. See, never was a fan of doing that. Never did it because we never really had a reason to even try it, because, again, we weren't trying to sell to the public. So our concerns and how we did things, it was just something that we didn't ever worry about. And most of the time, the ones that did get that wound up in other people's hands, they knew exactly why these dogs was leaving the yard. Because most of the time, people are like, well, twin, why are you getting rid of them? They didn't make the team. Oh, they didn't quit, but they didn't make the team. This is not a match dog. Now, don't you take this dog and turn around and go out there and think you're going to make it a match dog. Because then it's your fault. You know what I mean? It's a good bred dog. Give him a nice home. Take care of him. Breed him. If you're going to breed him, breed him to something that's going to work. Just keeping it real with them and let the other person make the decision. But that's the whole point. You got to let them make the decision. And sometimes that's hard to do when you got a yard full of bullshit. And just keeping it real in this game has been something that has been very hard to do. We go through these journals, we go through the American Game Dog Times, you hear some of the war stories, the things that people done in the past, and it kind of gets you to a point to where you can't trust nobody. The DNA profiling for us, it wasn't that big a deal for us back then. Maybe because we weren't paying attention, or for us, any and everything that we bred to, Mo and KP used to always make it a point that they were present at the breedings. So they were guaranteed that this is the dog they're trying to breed to. This is what they're gonna see get done. So that was one of the ways that I think we eliminated a lot of our headaches, because we made it a point to always be there when we got it done. But sometimes nowadays that can be hard on people, and you got, for me, it's too much trust. You start creating too much trust, and when you create too much trust, you're gonna get burnt. And anytime that you're doing business, I feel like trust is goes as far as you can see the next deal. Just as far as the next deal comes. So I always felt like it's important to get that out there, because you see a lot of going back and forth. A lot of people saying things that aren't true. People feeling necessary to have to speak on things. I guess it's an ego, beat your chest ego type of thing that you gotta respond to some bull. But keeping it real when it comes to these dogs, it's gonna always be an issue. But when it all comes down to it, it's gonna always boil down to the person with the dog and the dog itself. And how you survive this game is always gonna be based on facts. The fact is, yep, it can run up that wall. The fact is, it's bred the way it said it's bred because I'm the one that bred it. Facts get you a long way when you're doing business, period. But tonight, I feel like we're going to just speak on the truth. Just keeping it real. Sometimes people don't want to hear that. But guess what? I think if something is said that you don't like, then if it's true, fix it. But, sometimes these things can hurt when you just somebody, that's some bullshit. That dog ain't bred the way you say it's bred. And then you argue, person arguing and said, no, because I'm the one who bred that dog originally. I bred that dog, and I've seen that happen. How in the world could that breeding happen and I had the dog? I don't remember that breeding. I know y'all hear a lot of that going on. Then that person who actually did the breeding, all of a sudden he a liar. Well, facts gonna be always in his favor, because the truth gonna always outshine the lie. But then just think of all the problem that create. Causes a lot of problems. So best thing to do is just learn from what history has given us. The stories that we have read about, talked about, things that you have seen over the years. Even when you talk dogs, sometimes, we get in the habit of repeating things that we heard. Well, a lot of the things that you heard usually coming by third, fourth, fifth, sixth party, and so the story changes every once in a while. But that's why you got to be careful of who's telling the story. We have videos now, and believe it or not, if something was said on the video, it's there. And to come back and say, I didn't say it, can be understandable sometimes because you just don't remember saying something. But that's the purpose of the video. You can always go back and hit play, and the facts gonna come out. Either you said it or you didn't say it. You see, I'm never been one to shy away from making mistakes or saying something that was totally wrong. If somebody catch it, I'll do my, I'm gonna always come back and miss that. Mo does that too, but that don't mean that some people do it intentionally, and will stand on a lie. And in this bulldog game, it been a whole lot of that. We talked about the B lines. We talked about the situation with, Stone City, hardcore. Them things create problems because you don't want to roll with the lie. And that some of the things that I talk about, some of the things I'm trying to bring to you with, with some of the business that goes on out here and some of the things that y'all do moving forward when it comes to these dogs. Got to be honest about it, whether it's good or bad. Just try to ride with the good because your success is going to be based on the way you do business. Because a lot of guys, you see this a lot. Back in the day, you had to be a stand-up guy. Yeah, he's a stand-up guy. You wanted to have that reputation. Yeah, he's a stand-up guy. And that to us meant more than having to be put in a situation or a position where you had to lie. Because nowadays, seem like, everybody glorifying the lie, and the truth is forever lost. You know what I'm saying? Forever lost. So I'm gonna just turn this over to Mo. Before I do this, hold on, let me go back down here and check out what's going on. Let's see. Yeah, hold on. I missed a whole lot down through here, didn't I? Let me get my shout outs right quick before I get it. Swamp Nest Monster in the house, aka Melee. I see you, fam. RBG Lone Wolf, what up, fam? Let's see. Show enough. What up, fam? Shreveport Mike in the house, what up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Mr. Cecil Jackson in the house. What up, fam? Kevin B, I see you, fam. Talk of the City Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Put this out here. My man, Insane Hunter Badger says, ain't no sense in advertising if you're going to put out These Boys, I'd be livid. TF, you mean you done want to put out blood, you advertising? Well, yeah, for the ones who've been around, y'all know it's been out there like that. My man Eli Monster says, Garner had a litter that I really wanted one from, and he said 2,500, and I busted out laughing. Well, Tom, he say he sell you the real shit for 2,500. I'm just saying, that's what he said. Now, for that 1,015, I guess that was the lower end stock. So, once it left his yard, he really didn't give 2 cents, but he paid a little bit more closer attention to those $2,500 buyers. Let's see. I'm putting this one up here. My man Insane Honey Badger says, so does does so does pushing more than one bloodline kill the need for that? I mean, no one wants anything subpar and not the popping thing. So technically, keeping some bullshit on a yard to sell to me does make sense. You know, and you know what, Honey Badger, if everybody thought that way and used that as an excuse, how would you be able to distinguish the ones who was trying to do it the right way compared to the ones who was just trying to fill sales? I mean, eventually, the one that's keeping the bullshit, sooner or later, you're going to have to go put that bullshit out there in other people's hands. And if you keep enough of that bullshit and think it's okay to keep doing it that way, that bullshit going to catch up with you. Compared to a person who don't have that shit on their yard and really don't have that to worry about. Because two different dog men doing business at the time. Who's the one that's going to fall under first? The one who's selling the bullshit or the one that's keeping just enough of the real shit and just standing on what they keeping and selling you? Because you know the bullshit's got to catch up with you sooner or later. Especially when you identify it as you know it's bullshit. But then guess what, fellas? Money make you hold on to that bullshit. You know, like Mo was saying about when Patrick said, old man wanted some Maloney's toot, and he ain't had no Maloney's toot on the yard, so he went and made him some Maloney's toot shit and pass it on. You know, things like that did and do happen. That dog, Champion Jesse James. Look at all them people who got them pedigrees, and we look and see dogs to offer him, knowing that that dog could not produce because it had a broke penis. We knew that. He knew that. But the demand for the dogs caused him to do what he did. You know, created problems, for us because, hell, Mo was standing right there doing the breeding on twice, and it didn't come through. But yeah, he was there. Happened to go by there, and there's a litter of puppies there, and we know that's not off of him, and he knew we knew it wasn't off of him. And the first thing he said, came true with the fact that his dog had a broke penis, and wasn't nothing that they could do about it. So, but didn't stop him from putting them dogs out there like that. Never really got into how those puppies that he put out there, how they was actually bred based on, he had a couple of dogs on the yard. Not a lot of dogs, but a couple of dogs on the yard. But it's that type of situation where, you see a lot of people out there with that Jesse James shit, and you be like, man, them dogs were not bred like that. But you don't hear too much what good came out of them. Cause I can't really, Mo might know a little bit more than I do, because all I did was went and collected. I didn't get into how that other litter of puppies was who they was actually bred off of. Because I think what he was trying to do, even in that situation, he was trying to give Mo a pup instead of give the money. He wanted to give him one of those pups, but Mo wasn't on that. He wanted dogs off of Jesse James, so he didn't want you to just satisfy the deal by just giving him a bunch of shit. So that's why I can see why he wanted to get mad and get loud, but that didn't work. So the fact that people try that type of shit. You're right, Fresh. My man Fresh said, my mentor told me being an honest dog man and a good person, it will follow you to your grave. I'm a true believer in that too, man. True believer in that. Eli, direct son or daughter off there when he was getting bread, if paid, that if I could rewind time, $2,500 for some history ain't bad. It's the folks peddling all star gets all first hand pups off of NASCAR. Well, I seen that NASCAR dog when I was up to Times. Know the little story behind him, but Tom got enough shit on the yard. You, it's hard to tell how and what's being bred. So that 2,500, it I think that 2,500, if it's off of NASCAR, you're gonna spend that 2,500. You know, that's what the man said. I'm taking it. That's depending on with all them damn females that he had. It's not like he couldn't have a couple litters off of NASCAR bred to some pretty good bitches. So that's a different story. Considering here's a man that's got a good bred dog. Now I don't know how he dealt with the papers. I know Tom didn't have the papers to the dog, but I can truly say that he would be the perfect person to have enough of the right shit on the yard to breed NASCAR 2 to fill a whole bunch of damn orders. It's just a matter of you willing to spend the 2,500, and then which bitch do you want the puppies off of? Because some people don't even care nothing about the bitch. They just wanted to make sure he gonna be the sire. So I'm pretty sure a lot of the stuff that Tom does, he try to keep it real, but who's to know what another person does? You know, you know. Yeah, he hit our boy up for like 25 grand. And he was one of them spending that 25 and 5,000 and all that shit. He got only one turned out to be about anything. So that make you side eye a situation, but damn, it wasn't like you got $25,000 talk about spending. You think you ain't trying to fill that order? You know, I'm not saying I'm knocking a person who does it, but I think you get, do a whole lot better is try to fill what you can the right way, even if you don't do nothing but get 10 of that 25. Believe me, he gonna come back with that 25 plus if you're keeping the business right. They always gonna keep coming back. That's just the way I look at it. A lot of people, you know, tried to come and buy dogs off the yard, and when it came down to us, clearing the yard when Mo sold all them dogs in 30 days, there was a lot of people who were trying to get dogs who couldn't get dogs. Because, at that point in time, Mo wasn't negotiating that. These were all good dogs, and he wasn't negotiating anything. And then they was moving so fast, always it's always the good shit to leave first. But then in the same token, Mo was doing big favors because he was breeding bitches to some of the males on the yard and sending bitches out pregnant. Bitches, everything was being bred to mate to, leaving the yard, all the bitches. He was setting everybody on point by impregnating all the bitches and selling them the bitches and not going up on the price. But then he was real careful about who he was selling his dogs to. Because he giving you pregnant bitches bread like this, he know that you're going to do the right thing. And them dogs they're going to produce and you're going to do the right thing with it. So that was his mind frame when he got rid of all the dogs at that time. The dogs actually did go to the right people's hands, and he really did take care of them. And we still talk about a lot of those dogs today. Let me give another big shout out. I seen somebody else in here. Big shout out to Bulldog Mute. I see you, fam. In case I missed this, I see you, Mr. Cecil Jackson. Space Force, I see you, fam. Mr. O, what up, fam? My man Johnny Rockets in the house. What up, fam? You looking good, Johnny. You looking good. Let me see who else I'm doing here. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Derek Lockett. I see you, fam. My man, Chico Nicholas said, I just bought a female all champion NASCAR. Double bred champion El Tigre on the bottom. First time dealing with this blood. Hope it work out for me. Chico, if it's bred like it's supposed to be bred, it's going to work out great. I'm going to just put that out there. If it's bred the way it's supposed to be bred, it's supposed to work. But then you're going to know how that works because you're going to have, this is all brand new. It's not like a whole bunch of people got that shit out there. So, only time will tell. But congratulations just getting out there doing it. My man Space Force says, I find many of the NASCAR dogs either spooky, man eaters, or both. My man Fresh said, I know a guy who got 4 dogs from Garner, and all of them turned out 2 of them are well known, Champion Bobby Peru and Champion Colin. So Tom knows and who to give the good ones to. Fresh, I was just saying that. You're right. Because one thing about Tom, if it turned out good, Tom gonna come back with the briefcase and try to get it back from you. Whatever you do, Tom gonna have a briefcase and he gonna make it worth your while. Big shout out to my nephew out there, Scratch Line News in the house. What up, fam? My man Honey Badger says, back in the day, you didn't know, so you had to deal with it unless you watched the shit happen. They put them out, see it, not working, now it's a story in the journal. This is true. Thing about the journal, though, at least you had a platform big enough, and you remember, most of all them journals, they was all over the world. You just look at the American Game Dog Times. You have people from all other countries, plus here, and then same thing with the journal. So when people put them stories out there and we read them stories, that was a good way to get put on blast, because all it took was a story. And generally, that's how, most of the stories got around anyway. Let me see here. Want to make sure I didn't miss nobody. Big shout out to Bloodthirst number 1, a.k.a. Havoc 360 in the house. What up, fam? I wonder, Fresh. I think that was Fresh. Hey, Fresh, was you in the $2,500 line? when you got them NASCAR and El Tigres, and I would say not just the $2,500. I'm gonna say the $2,500 plus. You don't have to tell me what it was. Just let me know. Is that a yeah $2,500 plus? Because those are good bred dogs, and I know how Tom was about them type of breeds. He gonna make sure you get the right shit, especially when you spending some money. Let me see. Want to give a big shout out to the Rabbit Man. What up, fam? Big shout out to a longtime supporter, Mr. David Morris. I see you, fam. I think I did get shown off. It says miles. But y'all know when y'all dealing with these dogs and these prices, the easiest way to deal with this shit, man, is to try to keep it real. Because you won't, there's going to be times that you won't have invested in these dogs, and some of that time going to be wasted. And do you make the same mistake that you made by creating more problems by, oh, this dog off NASCAR and El Tigre, it didn't work out for you, but yet you can go sell it to somebody else? You know, what's the storyline? Does and somebody asks you, well, why are you getting rid of it? Because I got two more in the yard, or I got a litter mate on the yard, and I need the money. Remember, there's so many ways you can swing that. But the reality of it is, which way are you going to use? Are you going to use the truth? Because sometimes those things happen. You might need some money and you ready to give up some. I'm gonna keep this and I'm gonna have to sell that. That's the truth of the matter, you know. But then again, if there's another truth, that's up to the person who got the dog. That's what this has always been a part of the game, gentlemen. It's just a matter of the integrity part, integrity and the honesty and what you're doing. All that is just part of the game. But again, used car salesmen get a bad name. That's why they got the lemon law. At least you got something to protect you. You don't have that kind of shit in these dogs. Once you buy it, you stuck with it. Some of the older guys used to say, if it don't work out for you, bring it back to me. And they'll let you get something else. Some guys were really true to that. If you paid a stud fee and it didn't work out for you, and they say, well, come on back, and we'll try it again. There were, for us anyway, there were a lot of good dog men out there that were men of their word, hands down, 10 toes down, and that's the route we chose to take, because those people didn't have problems. And then the majority of them that were good like that, it was an honor just to be, a person that was in line to get an animal from them. Because a lot of the good ones, they wasn't out there, selling their dogs to just any and everybody. So that right there to me made a difference. Some people were very skeptical about who had their blood. So I think that had a lot to do with the integrity of the person. And we talk about a lot of them, but just as many that was good out there, there was definitely bad. So I think I got everybody. I want to give a big shout out to the dark side in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Urot Black Paws, the regulator, Shrock in the house. What up, fam? That name getting long and long every time I see you, fam. Dirt Road Kennels, I see you, fam. Hey, let me see. I'm just seeing if this works. It was somebody who did a pedigree last week. I can't remember who it was. But Dirt Road, I'm gonna run that pedigree for you too, man. As soon as Mo get on, I gave him the number to it, and we'll take a quick look at it. Let me see it right quick here. Let me see it right here. Okay, here you go, Mo. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. What up, everybody? Let's talk Tuesday. What's up? Hey, what's up? I was laughing about some of these breedings. That breeding game could be a beast. Now, I take it like this for a breeder. If you're a breeder that's breeding, this is back in the day where some guys just bred their dogs. Okay. A lot of them would take their dogs and be quick to sell it to a guy that he know is a working man. When I say working man to work his dogs. Okay? He wants to make sure. Now, he's going to get a guarantee. He is going to get a guarantee because he knows he's a working man. If it don't work out, bring it back. I get you another. Now, by the time he come back, he might have left with a puppy. Coming back with a grown dog. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we ain't going to start the process over again. But what dog is he going to go out there on the yard to get? He's not going to get another puppy. You know, this dog is got some age on him. And then what is the breeder going to do when he once he got him back? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even intend to bring him back. It didn't work out for you, don't bring him back. Just send me a picture. No, that's all. Just send me a picture. Come on back up and get you one. Because that's what good breeders do. Good breeders with guarantees. You know? Because you find yourself going back with the same ass dogs, you know, at the third time, don't you think it's time to give up? So a lot of breeders, they had preferables. You know, me personally, if I was a breeder, I had my preferables. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was guaranteed that if I got one from Big Mike or Stone City, I know I was going to get a good dog. Because they knew in the right hands, whatever accomplishment this dog does for him works out good for me, for them. See, that's the point. If you're not doing the work, then at least get the work into a working man's hand because it does benefit the breeder. You know, that's the key. You know, if you're just out there making breedings just to sell puppies, then you necessarily don't care where they go. You know, but if I'm checking the yard and the shit that I'm checking, you know what I'm saying, has to go into a working hand, I got to make sure that a working hand is going to have something to work with because it will benefit me. It's going to benefit me. Because he's either going to have a lot of praise, especially if it's a good one, and a lot of people is going to be knocking on the door just based on what he got. So, yeah, when I got the dog, I would hold bitches until they come in heat. And it was like several bitches was coming in heat.
And when they come in heat, I put them up for sale. Somebody buy them, I'd be like, well, look, I'm gonna send you a gift. Give me about a week before I send her off, and I'll send her with some puppies. Well, who they off of? May 2. Oh, what? May 2? Oh, sit there. So I sent out about maybe 7, 8 dogs that was off of May 2. There was bred to May 2 when I sent them off. Which it does work out pretty well because, like I said, any accomplishment, a lot of those dogs that did get out there, like Madame was one who a guy wanted to get a puppy off of May 2, and the only female puppy I had was off of May 2 in Brat. And that's how he got Madame. They was a working kennel and they came a long way to get her. I told her, look, you can't get more Mayday than this. You know what I'm saying? You can't get more Mayday than this. And it cost a pretty penny to get it, but he paid for it, and in the long run, it worked out for him. He took it right back to Champion Graveyard off of Mayday. Now, just imagine how tight Mayday that dog was, and you would think it wouldn't have worked. But, in that, we're still dealing with a bunch of crazy-ass dogs, if you know the Mayday dogs. And I always said there's something special about not just May 2, but Brat. There was just something that clicked in those dogs. Okay, how you bred them, if you was breeding them back into something off of Mayday, it worked. And I say this to most guys: if you want to make sure that you got some good stuff, some Mayday good stuff, always cross it to stuff that worked with Mayday. Actually, when I told Jamie when he bought a bunch of those dogs off my yard, I told him, man, breed that stuff to some buck stuff, or breed it back into some Mayday stuff. Maybe he had baby. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. And it worked for him. Well, I thought he was a peddler. He wasn't too much of a peddler. He probably was peddling the stuff that he had. You know what I'm saying? But when he started getting into them bulldogs and started getting them dogs like Maximo and Orca and those dogs like that, that put him in a whole different line of dogs. I mean, all that bullshit that he was doing prior to that, trust me, Jamie had cleaned up his whole act. He had a bunch of damn good dogs. A bunch of damn good dogs. So that brought a lot of profit to his pocket because a lot of people were buying dogs from him. But a breeder is very, I would put it like this: it's more of a popular thing now than it was back in my time, because everybody advertised in the journal. And we could go in these journals and pull up pedigrees of dogs that they was advertising in the journal, and then go in and let's pull them up on pairs online and see if there was any results. Click on them, no results. It's got a whole bunch of shit that was bred, but no results. I always look at, me personally, I was always going to breed to activity. Activity perks me. If you got activity, then you got my eye. You got to have activity, though. You know what I'm saying? Like Windy City, Pro Set, Hell on Earth, Stone City, Hardcore. These are working kennels. So, and if they're working kennels, are you going to get your best? Well, I don't have to worry about getting the best if I'm always either going to take a bitch or I'm going to buy a puppy. You see what I'm saying? I'm either taking a bitch over there or I'm bringing home a puppy. Because I know I'm going to get something good. Because they all had good bred dogs. And they was a working kennel themselves. You know what I'm saying? So I always think like this. In the business of this dog game, back then, you had to have credentials. You know, fly by nighters didn't really sell a lot of dogs. They didn't. You had a lot of guys who was just specific on buying good bred dogs so they could sell good bred dogs. They would take their good bred dogs home, get them a nice male and a nice female, and they would start a yard off that they could just put these two good dogs together and sell them, not knowing what the turnout's going to be. Is that they were bred so good, they attracted the eye. You know what I'm saying? And at Casino, he was an active guy. He sold a lot of dogs. You know, I mean, there was a lot of good dog men selling a lot of good dogs. I can say that much. The thing is, when it comes down to crunch time, you know, as we've seen in a lot of these matches, when we go back in those old books and go pulling them up, you see a lot of these good dogs going into good dogs. It doesn't make the line trash. It doesn't make the line trash. You know, just imagine when Grand Champion Art had his first match. Do you really think that they would have thought that, you know, Art would have been this famous badass dog? No. You know what I'm saying? No. Same with Mayday. Mayday won his first match. Did you think everybody thought he was going to be this great producer? No. It comes in stages. And it comes in stages by being consistent on what you're doing with this line of dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because Victor got a lot of pub off of Mayday on the simple fact that he was off of yellow. That's all that was. Because when I saw Mayday, you know, I didn't know who he was. But when I seen his activity, it was hands down. I didn't even know who Dolly was. But I know that I was standing there with Dolly, Mayday, and Choice. And I seen them both. And I was sold. Just like when I was over there in Puerto Rico. And seeing Nico and Yellow Butt and Miss Nico. You know, this man got a yard full of champions. And then the key to me was not just the Grand Champion Buck part of it, but it was the Awesome Baby part, the yellow. You know, I'm a firm believer. I liked the yellow stuff. I remember the yellow stuff when it was Yellow John. You know, you just got to pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? Or what you're going to construct. You know, I've had my words about Walk 'em All, you know, and the dogs that they were producing and breeding. And back then, it was like, you know, they sold a lot of dogs because everybody who was trying to get dogs from them was trying to get dogs that you would expect would give you what they had. So I see a bunch of champions coming out of a yard. You know what I'm saying? Like Stone City, Hardcore. You know what I mean? Even like my people's Deep South. You know, Lock Tight, Bobby, and them boys up there in the land. You know, they had good dogs on the yard. So that's where I'm going to gravitate to. You know, if you gravitate to working dogs, then the chances of you getting a working dog or breeding to a dog that could work for you, your money is safer that way. You know what I'm saying? These days, it's who gets the most popularity in their advertisement. And when I say advertisement, what you're throwing up on Facebook, what you're throwing around in chat rooms, you know, that brings up a lot of steam. But again, you know, those are areas where you're dealing with strictly breeders. Strictly breeders. And when I say strictly breeders, you know, this is not like journal days. You know, with the responsibility of putting something out there and it's not working, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get a letter all in the journal with somebody trashing the man's yard that he bought a dog from. You go on Facebook, you see a whole bunch of that. You know, you mess up now, you internet famous on just for having sold somebody some trash. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to express their feelings on Facebook. You know, if you sell a good one, if they're wise, they wouldn't be flashing it all on Facebook, because where it needs to be known at, it won't be known on Facebook. So give me somebody who ain't on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I just can't see anything being plentiful. You know, if I was doing dogs in this day and age, I would be looking for anything on Facebook. You know, I'd be looking to where it's being motivated at, the basement. You know, you just put on your night glasses and go looking, because that's where your promises are going to come from. Your promises that, you know, the chances that you have will work out for you when you're dealing with active working kennels. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about.
Let me give a big shout out to my man Game Breaker in the house. What up, fam?
What up, Breaker?
Big shout out to my man Larry Marshall's in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man Mr. Eric Watson's in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Mr. Nicholas. I see you, fam.
When we be pulling up these pedigrees and we be going over these things, I hope a lot of you guys be taking notes on the things that I really do be pointing out. You know, because some of these things can make your average breeder a better breeder. Or guys who've been to Ace Hardware, Sporting Goods, and got them some night visions to go hunting at night. Those guys, you know, they are in an area where they can have a lot of good dogs. You know, because their vision is a lot clearer for what they're looking for.
Want to give a big shout out to my Romanian friends in the house, Mr. Ali Krasan in the house.
What up, fam?
Way from Romania in the house. What
Okay.
up, fam?
What up over there in Romania? Hey, big shout out to my man David Morris. What's up, fam? Hey, Mike, you had a number you wanted to give me? Mike got a number he wanted to give me for a pedigree. Guys, I like doing the pedigree thing, but I need some suggestions. So I know the email is down there on the bottom. Y'all got the email. Y'all sending me pedigrees. Is there something you guys want to discuss, talk about on the show? You know, a lot of y'all come to the show just to sit back and enjoy, but if there's something there that you want us to talk about, or you want to see me go over, you know, use the email and send it over, man. I'll get it, I'll dig into it, and I'll bring it up to the front, you know. So y'all just remember that, you know. I'm getting like 7, 8 now. Y'all know, y'all can send me emails. Let me know what y'all want to talk about, what y'all want to hear. Okay. 7558. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got a pedigree here. Okay, who sent this in?
Dirt Road Kennels. Dirt Road Kennels. Appreciate that, man. He says his new stud on the yard.
So he opened for stud for 10 breedings and then he done. Now, you know, this right here is almost looking like some old Floyd Boudreaux stuff here. You know, we got to go dig in and work our way back. You know what I mean? We got to work our way back. Let's start off with the RM. Let me see. He's a 2-time winner. Let's see what he got here. Offspring. Okay. Well, he's a registered mare, 2-time winner with nothing on pay it, so. Well, let's just keep going back. Daddy was was a champion, 4-time winner. Check his pedigree, and we go back here, and we got a 1-time winner and the 2-time winner registered mare. See the all win there, but can't get it on no verifying on that part. But we getting back here in the area where we get an idea of what he working with. What he working with. Rick Rube, good producer. Heavy Rick Rube. So we're gonna dive in and look at Rick Rube. And as you can tell, he's definitely a Apache dog. They just got them certain things that just seems to show up. You know, the feet. You know, there's certain characteristics that you see. And I always say when you're looking for a good one, man, look for the genetic strains to show. You know, if you know your game and you know your thing, you know, most of these guys know, but when you looking for certain dogs, and you got to look for those traits before you walk off the yard. When you got a litter to pick from, you want traits to shine. You know, traits play a big part. If you understand traits, then you can probably pick out you a good puppy. But Rick Rube, pretty good dog. You'll find him in some good pedigrees. He got several pages. As we dive down through here, in here. Keela. I can guarantee you, some of these dogs, as we go through them, when you go hunting, looking for the production from a particular dog like Rick Rube, you be asking yourself, well, between those 2 pages, I don't see much. Why you call him a good producer? Because a lot of dogs that you see, because remember, I don't touch shit that, you know, unless it's got a CH by it, you know what I'm saying? Or 2-time win. But a lot of these dogs down in here, man, I can guarantee you, we'll just start pulling up stuff and dipping down through here. We would probably find the dogs that really put Rick Rude on that trail of production, because there's some good dogs out there. There is some good dogs out there that's got this Rick Rude line in them. Another page of a bunch of dogs being like Toothless Jack, coming off of Rick Rude. Now, I'm pretty sure there's, like I said again, I'm pretty sure there is some dogs in here. You know, we just can't see them yet. Grand champion right there, showing up kennels. They're a good kennel. Look like he's a dark brindle dog too, don't he? Got the King's champion Max. Yep. Heavy head, heavy bread, Homer. So they was definitely trying to get the stuff bred. Me, when I look at pedigrees like this, I be looking at them like, and they ain't trying to be funny, but I like production. You know what I mean? If I'm out looking for something that I want to bring into my line of dogs, when I go down to these pedigrees right here, I'm looking for production. Okay, like this right here, to me, is more production than I've seen out of all of them. Okay, so we know the Latino boy, Rude boy, he got 33 offsprings, bred to some decent dogs. You know what I'm saying? But you notice out of the dogs that we just went through, they had 2 pages. This dog seemed to have more good working stuff than the other dogs, if you notice. You know, old Slim Jim. That's a hell of a cross. Pretty nice cross. Because all this up here, this down here, not bad. Little Slim, got Champion Sandy, Butcher Boy, 2-time winner, 2-time loser. Raven, 2-time winner, 1-time loser. And then you got ice pick. Well, we short one for the all one part, unless we want to add this one to it. See, when I look at these things and I'm looking at dogs, you know, I gotta find work. See, not a lot of work. Now, we was the breed. Okay, guys, here's a good question. Say I wanted to upgrade this pedigree. You know what I mean? I mean, really upgrade it. What would you add to it to make it better? You know what I mean? Because the production level is kind of low for me. And if I liked the breeding, what bitch would I want to take to him? Not the toothless jack. Let me see. You think getting better? No. You know, how would I take this dog and breed it? Me personally, I'm looking for some stuff like Gaston. You know what I mean? I'm looking for some Gaston. I'm looking for some Grand Champion Buck, some Buckus. I'm looking for something. Let me see. Let's go look. Let's go grab one. Now, I wouldn't be afraid to use her. Why I say that? You see what I'm saying? But you see why I say that? You know what I mean? That's the kind of pedigree that I'm looking for. You know, they go Buckus, Miss Leaky. You know, and the reason why I picked that dog again, genetics. Okay, that was one of the reasons. You know what I mean? Now, I could take Miss Leaky and go over there and breed to. Imagine me taking this line here, this one right here, and putting it on top of this. I can guarantee you, I'm gonna get some better bulldogs. Now let's go check and see if they even tried some of that. Was they doing a lot of inline breeding? You know what I'm saying? A lot of the other Homer stuff. Like, let's check out Black Dancer. Coming right off of Homer. And Black Beauty. Nice cross. And Rude Boy. We know that, and that's what, like I said, remember Rude Boy is one of them ones. I said, he produced more than the other dogs did, even Toothless Jack. You know what I mean? But if I'm looking to upgrade, I'm trying to upgrade this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm going to go to my man, to his line. Now I'm looking at his line of dogs. If I was you, I'd be saying, okay, this to me looks like walk-em-all. So we want to change the walk-em-all thing and try to make something, you know what I'm saying, that can match up to what's coming off this yard. Because we see a lot of all ones, but that we don't see too much, as far as, everything is not on here. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not on here. So you got a hard pick to pick from because everything is not on there. But like I said, it's almost like looking at the walk-em-all. But if I'm looking at this right here, how would I upgrade this? Me personally, I'd be looking for some stuff going in this direction. Change up the flavor. And to be honest, this part ain't, the Golden Boy part, that's not as true as it's supposed to be. I'm going to the Patrick Tater on the buck. You know what I'm saying? I can guarantee you. See how they got buck as Golden Boy? I'm not looking at that buck. I need the other buck. Genetics. And he was a producer. He produced more than that. So we're gonna find him in the other buck. That buck. You know what I'm saying? And let's go find Miss Leachy. So now we're looking at it a little different. Now when we go down through here, we see this is what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying, guys? They go, boy. Now why is this working? You see the difference? This is what I be looking for when I be making my decisions. I got a male, but the male can't do me no good if I can't get the right bitch bred to him. I wouldn't be trying to go back into this line here. Good dogs. But if you don't want to be playing a walk-em-all game, you know what I'm saying? Can I get something like they getting? Well, you better think outside the box. You got to think outside the box because you know where it's going. It's showing you which way it's going. It's Rick Rude on top and bottom. Heavy Rick Rude. And if you call them out heavy Rick Rude, and they're getting these type of results. But when we go to Rick Rude, we don't see those type of results everywhere. So if I was me, I would be trying to add something to the Rick Rude. Something that can change the outcome. Because I don't want to be none of these where I got to go through 2 pages and it don't look promising. Not when you start comparing these pages here to those pages over here. So I want to fall in line with these pages. You know what I'm saying, fellas? Ladies and gents. The way, so you know what works. We know this works with anything when it comes down to putting some yellow or some yellow John, Jocko, whatever, to put together piece. Because Daisy May, look at her offspring, look to what made her ROM. We're going to go dive into a couple of them to show you what made her ROM. You see Bobby Jack. Okay, let's go look at Daisy Duke. See that? And he produced some pretty good dogs. Okay, I see Thunder. There go Daisy Duke again. There go Terry, and Thunder. So he produced 1, 2, 3 champions in this breeding in itself. I will be taking notes. I would be taking notes. Okay, let me see what's the next one. Who was the next one? Let's see, Bobby Jack. Okay, we know Buckus. Let's see. It's Leaky. Yeah. Buckus. Daisy Duke. Okay, that was Buck. That one's Buck. That was Bobby Jack. Even bred to Tarvington, you know his name. If you notice, the certain particular dogs. Y'all notice that? Trying to find the other one. Let's see. Where's Buckus at again? Did I hit this one? Let's see. Okay, here's Buckus. He's got a lot of pages, but the thing that I'm actually trying to point out is if I'm old dude and I'm trying to cross something and make it work, if you notice, the buck stuff was working again with the Yellow John, Jocko Cross, Champion Toro. It's still the Yellow John stuff. Me, I would be trying to bring Buck into this stuff. I think he would have a better chance breeding into some yellow or some buck stuff. You know, because again, if you go by, and you the stud now, if you're going by everything that's going on back in here, you don't want to run into the welcome all jam. Well, the only one that can get this kind of pedigree is the people who own these dogs. Come up the yard and you trying to do, you carry forward, you want to be able to do what they done. You know, if you breathe back into it, then you can have the opportunity to have it in your yard. Then the question would be, well, if they can do it, then I should be able to do it. You know, the best way to try it is get one, you need a female out of this to see for yourself.
Want to give a big shout out to my brother out there, Armin Fleet in the house. What up, fam? He said you would have to take that stuff to an Indian Sunday Bolio dogs to get something out of that. I've had all of that stuff before.
Yep, he's right. Yep. And that's what we're looking at. Bolio stuff. You know, that's what I would be grabbing at. There's enough of this stuff around out here. Yeah. Let's move up a little bit and try to grab some of this. You know, these would be hard finds. These would be hard finds. You might find some bucket stuff out there. You know, if I was digging into some stuff, this is what I would be digging in looking for. Things that we do know and understand. Yeah. Things that you know that still could be possibly out there that, you know, probably further back in the pedigree, but up there in the area that you may find what you're looking for. You know, any one of these, anything coming by way of buck and yellow or 357, you know, you might have a good crack at it. You know, the macho buck stuff, that's, you know, That's the pedigree that I see a lot of. You know, a lot of people got the macho buck stuff in their pedigrees. Okay, I'm trying to find where I see buckets at. Let me find this Nikki. There you go. Mm-hmm. That ain't the one I'm looking for. For the other 257. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find my other. Yeah, I know. Okay. And I got my glasses, so everything's moving a little slow. I still don't see you. Let me just pull him up. Okay, this is the pedigree we see a lot of out there. You know, this ain't the dog of the year macho buck, but a lot of pedigrees I noticed this macho buck is in them. One thing I was saying again about traits. The mouthy stuff, you don't even know he got made it in him. Those traits will show up. This dog got a whole bunch of pages, but the point that I was making, if I was to do crosses, like this is a female right here, that I so mad, and she was full of puppies when I sold her. Them puppies right there. But he would be the dog that I would be trying to, you know, if you can find crosses in his pedigree, I would be trying to put some of this stuff back over there. A female bred, depending on how they got the macho buck stuff bred in there. You know, you got a lot of pages, but you know, the breeding wise, you know, there's a lot of these dogs coming by way of him. You know, you see what I'm talking about? A bunch of pages. Because you're dealing with a breeder. Hmm? Okay. I'll run down through here. I'm trying to find a good one for my man. A good line that he could work off of. You know what I mean? A good line that you want to work off of. No. A lot of these I just don't be all that crazy about because you bred that good. And it's just some of these dogs that, you know, I'm trying to find a good line to work with, that you got something to look forward to. Give me something well reputable. No, this one got a bunch of pages, but there's another macho buck out there. But let me see. This one right here, Lady Dolly. Okay. I'm going to try this one. I'm going to go with Lady Dolly. See, if I was to breeding a gyp, this would be the type of gyp that I'd be trying to find to breed to your male. You know, these dogs is old and gone, but I'm talking about a line that's being like consistently in this ballpark. My man who's got this dog right here. This is the route. Where's he at? This is the route that I would be trying to take this stuff here. I'll be trying to find it to go back into this way. I believe if you stay in this route here, you're gonna be like, this is gonna be like walk 'em all. You're gonna see all this, and you're gonna be looking forward to something that you're not gonna be getting. I'm just being honest with you. Because expectation-wise, you expect to see this coming off of him to keep this going. Most of the time, when we see a whole bunch of this right here, the only ones that seem to get it is the people right here. Once you get outside of this, we don't see the same results. You know, that's why I was saying not being funny, talking about walk and all them, but I'm just saying, if you wanna keep this going, I wouldn't add too much more of this. You know, you can try it. But if you don't get this, then all you're doing is building off of the pedigree. But if you want some stock, I'll be trying to tag in and bringing some of this stuff here into your stuff over there. You might have some results. You know, I just believe this dog right here, you got to breed him right. I wouldn't be trying to breed back into this. You can, if you want to do it, you know, you just adding your name to a bunch of these names that's already here, but don't be surprised if you don't get nothing. You know, just don't be surprised if you don't get nothing. Because anytime I see a bunch of this right here, my expectations is if they can do it, then I should be able to do it. And if I can't do it, you know what I mean? Then the best way to do it is come off of this right here, because maybe this has been done enough. And you don't need to be adding more to this. Maybe you need to be taking this and going out with it. As you see Zeke from the top to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Now you get a female, you know, other stuff, and you breed to it, then my expectations would be, then I should be able to get the exact same thing that we doing here. And if you can't, then I wouldn't be trying to go pushing this button too much anymore. I would be trying to step out. Step out bring some real buck, bring that buck side into this, because that's what's missing. You know, and like I said, we didn't check all the ROMs. We haven't seen nothing. You know, can't expect it on Pairs Online anyway. But you know, the ROMs and all those things right there. You know, we haven't seen what, like this right here is ROM. Go to Offspring. We don't have but a one-time winner, so we can't get no platform on this to see what worked. We see on this one, we see again, right? But we see, you know, we still dealing with a bunch of Zeke. Still dealing with a bunch of Zeke. We click on Maria, Offspring. You know what I mean? See, we don't know which way we're going to get this thing to work. So she's got a stud. You know what I mean? I'll be looking for a good bitch. But don't be surprised if, you know, if you try to breed back into this, you don't get what you see here. You know? You look like you might be on that you know, what I call the walk-em-all train, where everybody can do it but you. You know? You need to try a different route. And me, I would be adding some good buck to that. Some new buck. Some you know, go down that line and find some of this old stuff that's out here that's doing something that can put some spice into your stuff to make your stuff worthy. Because he's already bred good. So you want to make your stuff worthy, then I would be looking outside of what you got and trying to find something different. Okay, I'm ready.
896-872. Big shout out to Borderland.
And you got all the right stuff. Me, I like digging in. I teach too much of one thing. I want to dig in and see where Martinez was going. I see where he's going. You know what I'm saying? Now, all this back here, doing good. And he was able to bring it up to the front. He's still being able to bring it up to the front. But as you notice, what happened? Did you notice you start losing it? Everything that was working back here starts falling off here. Got one here. Man, nothing like what you're seeing going on back here. You know, pay attention to that. Guys, when you breeding, pay attention to these things. Pay attention to them. Because you can't go but so far before it start wearing off. I did say, you're getting to doing too much of something. Like, that's not a bad one. But you want to be able to maintain a strong line of dogs, you got to stay within that perimeter, man. Got to stay in that perimeter. See, that's the perimeter right there. That line, you can move with that line. See it? Crybaby, see that perimeter right there? Moving forward. And you see what starts happening? You're still playing in the ballpark. You still got promise. But as we keep moving up, good cross right here. Because he's maintaining this, maintaining the puzzle. I mean, if I had a DSK dog, I wouldn't be trying to breed back into DSK. I would be trying to breed what works with DSK. Because Martinez did enough of that itself. You know what I'm saying? Just got him in the door. But if you breed in the papers, this is why your papers start looking like, a whole bunch of Martinez. Still got good stuff coming off. But down here, what was you looking for? Remember, it takes him to do this to make this dog work. And I know we still got some bando dogs out there lurking around now. Not like we don't have them still lurking around. But this is really, this is a, am I still going back? This is where I started at, right? Yeah, I would be trying to find me something that works with DSK, because your genetic line speaks for that line of dogs. That's your line of dogs here. Could be a good dog. But me being this was a female, the bitch would have to be going back to some shit like this right here. I wouldn't be looking at no pedigree when it comes to breeding her. I'd be looking for some results. If you know what I'm saying. Results. Need results, baby. She's a female. Be wise on how you breed. Don't go breeding to the papers. Breed to the results. Hungary dog.
Big shout out to Alex.
The dog is from Hungary. Well, this is the Romania guy. I see Hungary right here. Okay. Alex, okay. See, and this dog don't have made he got made in here just one time, like right up in here. Yeah, you see his genetics. You see all the little things. That's how you know a dog got strong genetics. That's how you know a dog got strong genetics. Even when it comes down to the body. Not taking nothing away from these dogs right here. Because there's a bunch of damn good dogs up in here alone. And this dog here, old Jasper, his little mate brother's twisted. Bob, Molly, See, all these damn other names and shit, you know, again, I always question that move right there, because I was going to say, you know, these is names that, you know, these dogs popped up after maybe they died. Okay. This one right here is definitely legit. I look at Jasper. Yeah, I know this is my peoples right here. Now my man that had that dog over here. What is this? A female? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Cannonball. This was the kind of cross that I was talking about, like something like this right here. Gotta have this dog right here. This is the kind of cross that I be trying to breed to that dog. This stuff. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause it's got all the right bolio stuff that you're gonna need. It's got all your old Homer stuff. It's got Miss Leaky. It's got all the right bulldogs that you want. You know, this is the route that I would go. You know, these are my peoples right here. So I can trust with him. I know he's a funny dude. And if he ain't got puppies out here yet, then that means he's waiting. It ain't been, what, 2021? He does. He does get great bred dogs. That's one thing that he will do. Mm-hmm. I wonder why he didn't breed it. I know Mr. Mater, he might be dead by now, but it's probably what he got her for, you know? This dog here, this is old. For this dog, for Sadie to be off of this dog here, this dog is old as hell. That's Twisted Little Mate brother there. Might be just an old dog from back in the day. It's probably just, just putting her up there, but this is definitely an old dog here. Oh, this is old. But if I was going to be breeding, I would be trying to find this kind of stuff right here to help me. Okay, Mike. What you saying? Mm-hmm. Nice dog, Alex. Breeding wise, well, what more do you need to know? Because you know, it's just the fact that you know, look at all this stuff coming off of you. See, this is the kind of stuff that I be talking about when you breed in these type of dogs. It's got those kind of lines under them. You know, and you was over on the other side of the country, the world, and you proving a point that we're supposed to be proving here. You know, that's why a lot of these bulldogs is being imported back into the United States are doing so much better. In so many cases, these dogs is coming back is producing better than the dogs that's here. You know why? Because they are still being active over there where they at. And they can make those crosses and those breedings that when I go pull up this grand champion when I go pull up his shit, you see shit. You know, there's no doubt. You know, you're seeing it. You see him work. I wouldn't care if it's working. That's what makes me go back to him and take a closer look. Love the way he look. But when you check it out and do the breakdown, and these are overseas dogs, but all this right here, we do know these dogs. We know these dogs. Now these dogs down here on this bottom, I can tell you a little bit about these guys. You just find a lot of these dogs around the United States. These dogs right here started working their way back into the country. Yes, sir. I know a couple of dogs that I've seen with these guys in their pedigree. You see why. Remember, we just saw these dogs in another pedigree, the one earlier. You know, scallywag bear back into the buck stuff. And see, my man, that's what I was saying about your stuff. You know, you go look back into your stuff and see all that zig stuff, you're going to see some of these stuff over there, but at least you're getting an idea of what makes it, what you got to do to make it work. Okay, I think his dog has some scallion. And where's his dog at? Wasn't it Cannonball? Yeah, let me go back in here and check Cannonball one more time before I go. No, I'm still messing with Cannonball over here. Whole bunch of that Rick Rude, that Rick Rude stuff. To me, I'm adding some different type of Patrick. You know what I mean, man? I'm trying to add me a different type of Patrick. That's all I'm saying. Add a little different something to that. But I like the way them boys breed. You know, especially because they do a lot of this. I like when you do a lot of this right here. Keep producing your winners. Yeah, I like him. I got to put him off to the side. He might be my dog of the night. Right now, he's a top candidate for dog of the night. Mm-hmm. I'm ready for the new one, man. Let's see here. Let me get off of this here. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready, man. 8, 9, 7. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Courtney Edwards. Well, I'm going to start with the top before I dive down to the bottom. It's Courtney. Courtney, I'm going to start from the top before I work my way down into the bottom. Okay, that gas and stuff. OT Bucky, before you lose it, you better use it. Before you lose it, you need to use it. That's your factor right there. That's what you're supposed to be building on. So you need to use it before you lose it. You know, let me go back. This is where I started at, right? This right here. Now, let's see. Black Rose, let me see what you was deciding to do. Now, this right here, I like. This here on the bottom, they did some smart shit with it. Because see, the part is not this part, it's this part. See, that's what you got to stay focused on. Use it before you lose it. He gonna give you some help because he's throwing some pretty good dogs, and when you're breeding them to this, anytime I see this cross right here with the West Penn stuff, you got something to look forward to because this is a smart breeding right here. This West Penn move right here, this is smart moves right here, and this was a smart move. No, peanut butter was smart because peanut butter he did something smart. See, he took his voodoo stuff right here because he needed help. He needed help. Don't think he didn't need no help. He needed help. Butter, you know, like I said, traits. See that right there? Good cross. Because the voodoo stuff, I have no problem with it. No problem with it. Mike Morgan, he produced good dogs, but I have never been a fan, not no crazy fan of voodoo stuff. But when you cross it, you can have some very rough dogs. And this cross right here definitely put a lot of gameness in this stuff.
Your nephew, Scratchline, he's still on that little tater kick. He said he'd call you in the morning.
Oh Lord, you ain't over that yet. He's still trying to say Buck and Golden Boy. When production wise, he just can't give it to me. Production definitely shows different. You know, you got to follow your line, nephew. You got to follow your line. I might throw the towel in and just give it to you. But yeah, these crosses right here are good crosses, man. I'm trying to tell you. They and the fill-ins to them, it helps out a lot. But you got to use it before you lose it. You know, at some point, you got to get off the paper chase. You got to move away from the paper chase. I'm seeing 3 generations that don't look nothing like the 4th, the 5th, or the 6th.
Borderland said, or some good old Carver.
Well, the good old Carver stuff is hard for us to find, guys, when it comes to that. I mean, when we go to Carver, you know, I say Carver Bolio. However you get it, you know, I would go that way. I would go that way. Anything that's, you know, anything that works. I mean, you want to go play some baseball, go out there and hit a home run, go grab you some of that Garner shit. Some of that St. Benedict Bailey stuff. Throw it in there. Because I'm going to tell you, these days, that's what's working. The Garner stuff. Me, I would be crossing, grabbing me a female out of this litter, and I'm trying to find me anything that's going to get me back to this back here. Anything to fill in this gap here. Because you got these puppies here. By the time they come of age, oh, this right here going to be gone. It's going to be back there. So the key is what you do with these pups. You know, especially your females. Got to get back on the working line. Got to get back to the working line. Because everybody going to be grabbing their papers and they're going to be looking for the shit up here, and they're going to go way back there in the back. They're going to have to get to 8th generation or 16th generation pedigree to understand what you're working with. Again, remember when I talk about breedings, I'm talking about breedings of my style of breeding from my time in the game. I'm looking at these like we are all on the bus. I'm looking at this through my eyes in my time. And what I have to do, what I should be doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it like this was my dog and this is what I would do. And I point out certain things like that. Use it before you lose it. Use it before you lose it. Because you study going generations without none of this. So you're changing everything that's going on back here to get you to this point right here. Where is your production? You know, you don't want to lose your production. You got to put something in there because that's going to give you production. Keep in mind, we're talking about my time. This is in my time, I'll be looking for some help. Anything with some good bolio in it, yeah, I would do that. But if you want to step outside the box, I'd be trying to grab me some Garner shit. Garner seem to be working around with everybody's shit right now. Old Black Mamba shit, you know, shit like that. Those dogs right there, you got to look into those types of what's in, you know, the cookbook in today's world. Okay, Mike. Got another one. I like the back part of it. Definitely give me some hope up here in the front. Definitely give me some help up here in the front. Okay, I'm ready. 842 210. Did I get it right? Okay, now we're on Black Mary.
Big shout out to my man, Mr. Vernon Dasher in the house.
One thing they did that I like was they kept it consistent to a point. The point was with this dog here. He has to really like this dog to take his one-time winner off the chain, though. But makes her a good, decent dog they want to take a look at. And they go Cannonball right there. That's Cannonball 2. See, you got a little of that stuff over here on old boy there. Got some of that stuff in there. That's Cannonball 2 right there. He must have really liked this dog right here. This had to really like him. Let's go take a look at him and see what's going on. Okay. BB. A lot of wild side stuff. I think Mike is the key factor in this line of dogs. I think Champion Mike plays a big part in this line of dogs. You know what I'm saying? I would stay focused on Mike I was dealing with anything, I'm looking the Mike way. Like I said, go grab some more garner stuff, throw up in there. This one right here is pretty well consistent. Mm-hmm. Which one? Nice built, pretty nice dog. I see the Amboss stuff, but I always say Amboss, you take Amboss to any yellow dog, and you see a different line of dogs when dealing with Amboss. Remember, anytime you see Amboss, throw some Mayday with it, I guarantee you it'll get with it. Remember, I said it. Remember Yellow Dog, Amboss. What do they do? Put some Spartacus to it, bam. With some Walkamall, bam. There's certain lines that you'll see. You can take this pedigree here, whoever's pedigree this was, and just go and look at Amboss, and you'll see he's not that great of a producer. And you'll notice what did work with him. Okay? You double bred Amboss. You got 3 pages now. You go all down through here. 3 pages. And you'll start understanding what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? But let's take a peek at what did work. We got a couple 2-time winners in here. And time was a good key. Played a big part. And why I say that, because this is the only thing that's saying that, if you notice, if I'm looking for a key factor, because it ain't Amboss. Okay, that's my argument. It's not Amboss. You got to put something with him. You know what I'm saying? You got to put something with him. Game loser. They go Rick Rude Homer. Going to Amboss. You know what I'm saying? More pages. At least you see he is throwing actually producing better than Amboss. You know, you gotta pick your poison. See, I'm real picky. Understanding me, I am very picky. The light of day came up here. This is what helps out the amboss. See what I'm saying? You got a lot of patches, got all the right yellow. You know what I'm saying? You got all the right yellow. Cross back in to that double bred amboss. Mm-hmm. Nice smell. I'll show you another one right quick. It's bred almost not exactly like it, but you'll see my point. Prime example. See what I'm saying? You got amboss, but you see that you see what they did. They took amboss and they bred it to what? Some heavy yellow stuff with mayday in it. More mayday. So that's two lines that y'all done seen. If you wanted to deal with some shit with double amboss, this would be the route that I would be going. You know, because that's what's working. I mean, I'd be going so many different ways, and you see the top. Top speaks for itself. Look at this dog. Look at this monster. But you see the cross. That's bruiser. That's yellow and Jeep right there. Heavy honey bunch. This dog right here, you find him in a couple pedigrees. When you run the line like that and you start working your way back to the front, you see these type of results. This is the kind of breeding style that I like. You know, because I'm maintaining consistency. I'm maintaining consistency. Maintaining consistency. Maintaining consistency. Steady your pads. Steady your pads. Dog's still holding it. He's still candidate. Dog of the night. Yeah, I would take that Amboss stuff and be adding a little bit more. Go back to some good crosses before you lose it. You know, this is not what I would call my factor. I would say this right here is a factor because of what was added to it. Dead lift. That's like taking and putting Amboss with some Walkmore stuff. You see, it worked. Walkmore made it. It worked. Same thing you seeing here being done. Same old prospect. You know what I mean? What they do, they took that female and added this to it. Same thing you seen over there on Yellow Dog, basic aspect. And you get those type of results. But if you was to pick out what's the factor? What's the factor in that pedigree? It ain't just Mayday. It's the yellow. Period. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's a candidate for dog of the night. I gotta save him. So I got 2 grand champions right now. Where's my other grand champion at, money? I gotta get him back. Which one was it? Was it over here? Yeah, it was over here. Yeah, I put him back up there. Yeah, I got 2 grand champions. I got 2 grand champions. And it's funny. Both of them got yellow and Mayday in them. What that tell you? Factors. Think about it. Factors. Now I got three winners, and they all got that one thing in common. It's like Jeep and Tab. You gotta have them. Okay, I'm ready.
843.
Okay, let me go over here and start with this one here. I gotta keep my champions up there. Okay, I'm ready. 843.
602.
602.
Big shout out to Bulldog Mute. Appreciate that, fam.
Well, the bad thing about this, and there's a good thing about this, okay? The bad thing is Ship is not a great producer, but hold your hand. When you add good dogs to him, you got to add good dogs to him. There's possibility here, especially when it comes to the game loser, you know, because he throws decent, but he's not that great of a producer. Just keeping it real with you. With this stuff here, when I say go get some of that Garner shit, Tramp Red Boy stuff, trust me. Major factors in there. One thing that they're doing is they're maintaining activity before you screw it up and lose it. You got to be smart when you breed this dog, right? This type of stuff right here. You got to find the right one to go back to. The right one. No, we got some ship dogs around. Let's see if I can find her on here. Bred to Kakaya. He got 9 pages. Believe me, we can go start chopping down, going through these pages, and you will see what I'm saying. Repeat. See, a lot of these dogs is repeats. I mean, and at the same time, game loser. You know, we're still putting out winners. Keep in mind, ship is not over in the United States, but the crosses that they're making with him, be a 2-time winner in 40, 3-time winner in 55, in 3 different countries. 13. But consistency. Gotta help him. Gotta help him. See, that's the thing about overseas. You know, you're gonna see a lot of them breeding their match dogs. They do that. They do that real heavily. They do that real heavily. But if I was breeding some ship stuff, that's what I would be adding. I'd be looking for, you know, because he definitely needs help. If you breed him to a good bottom, you might get something. But, you know, 9 pages and to be just a all women, and believe me, you got to damn near go through all 9 of them pages to find them 4. Right here, yeah. Back here. They picked up against the Black Rock boy, and 1-time winner in 29 minutes, still short game. He failed you. Say, I failed you on this one. Picked up game against Country Boy in 29 minutes. What they do? Put a female on a male? Yeah, I would definitely say you failed her for damn sure. You know what I mean? Anybody else, Mike? Hmm? Any comments? Any comments? If I was breeding the bitch, check her offspring. See what they doing with her offspring. Picked up game. $150 Texas against C Murder. All matches is against, okay, let me see. Now two-time winner Machi that beat Black Rocks champion Willie Son. Salute to the team. Picked up game. So you got to go back in these pedigrees out of the country and see, go all the way back till you get to back into our country. You know, that's the crazy thing about these here. You know, you got to go back there and start looking, you know, what was these dogs before they moved them out. Well, we know this part right here. We back into the States a little bit. Oh, Mr. Griffin. You know what I mean? We're back into the States now. You see what I'm saying? So that gives you a better idea of what they were doing. Gives you a better understanding when you start working your way back up towards the front. Matching dogs, but not world beaters. You know what I mean, guys? Don't lose your value. Don't lose your value. Is this where we started at? No, it's not. This one. No, again, we need help. Definitely down here, we got that. We're going to have gameness. And from the looks of it, we got gameness here. You know, I was breeding this shit right here. Again, I would be looking for Frisco. Put it back where it should be. I don't know if this is a male or a female, but if it was a female, I'll be diving back into this bottom side. Okay. Got to get back to the bottom side. You know, and that's just keeping it real with you. You know, I don't want a bunch of lines of dogs that, you know, I can win some and then I have to get picked up game. You know, I got two good winners. I got two good game dogs. Probably would have never been mastered. They was on my yard because they would have got picked up on the yard. Mm-hmm. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me do this right quick. What's that? 8. Didn't you just do this on 19? Okay. Calicon Bond Hollywood.
Big shout out to Merc Dog.
This one right here, you're going to get a whole lot of vice grip stuff. Remember what I told you about genetics? Y'all don't know where this is going to lead you. It's going to take you back into some Hollandworth stuff for damn sure. There go 357. Nice line breeding on the Hollandworth stuff though. See what I'm talking about? One more back. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the female. Again, we're dealing with a lot of Hollandworth. Got some Nico and Mayday up in there. That gives you winning power. Like I said, my thing on this one here is use it before you lose it. You're losing it here, and you got a little help here. But if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Major factor, the bottom. See, the bottom got more working for you as far as bringing something forward than the top. You know, you're doing a lot of silverback. Okay? A lot of silverback. But your working line is this one down here. This is the direction I would be paying attention to. What's happening, what happened right here in this zone. You know, get back to playing a line around this line, type of line right here, and tightening it up. Using something like this right here and bringing it back. Bringing it back on top of this stuff, this female here. I'd be looking for more of some of this down here to bring back to her. You got choices you can go by. But I'll be trying to bring either some more buck and mayday to the table, a little of both, or always go with the one guaranteed thing that can always work for you. Add more yellow. Add more yellow. You know, that's what I would be doing with this female. Is to find me a nice cross with some yellow, or some nice cross with some buck and yellow, or some mayday, or even a little bit of macho buck in there if it's a working line.
Want to give a big shout out to my man Khalid Class coming in with a 2-piece and a 5-piece. He got a question. He said, Twin, what is your best cross to the Mayday?
Mayday. Best cross to a Mayday is Mayday. And if you want to go better than that, you want to add buck. The combination of the both. Stone City Cross with Mayday work. You know what I mean? But they both, you know, you got yellow and then you got Bolio. That's just remember those two factors are always going to work for you. Always going to work for you. I'm always if I'm going to do anything that has to do with Mayday, I'm going to try to find me some Stone City, some, you know what I'm saying, some Jeep Red Boy stuff, anything in the guidelines of yellow. And, you know, remember, my thing is give me the top 5 producing males and even some Garner stuff. You know, give me the top 5 registered males, and that's the line that I play in. And same thing with the females. Give me Awesome Baby and Honey Bunch. I'm going to work with that. Dead serious. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said, and if you had to pick which side
You can tell it's heavy Harlem work. I always say those genetics, man, they stand out like a sore thumb.
Okay. My man Khalid Class said, if you had to pick which side of these Mayday dogs that you like to breed more towards, the Red Boy Jocko or the Bolio Tombstone side?
Hmm. Hmm. You know, I'm still on the Bolio Tombstone personally. I'm crossing the Mayday, but I would stay close to anything. If I'm gonna breed back into Mayday with any Patrick Indian Bolio dogs, I'm gonna stay as close as possible to either Buck or the Hollandworth dogs, or line bred like the Hollandworth dogs. Yeah, if I was trying to stay with, you know, crossing something back into Mayday, I would use either Mayday, because it definitely works. That's one thing that you can always look for that always seems to work. Mayday to Mayday does work. Something that like me, if it was me, I would be going back into some damn, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Damn. Let me see. Mayday to Mayday or Mayday to Buck. And it don't hurt to try some of that. Like I was saying, you know, there's new lines. New lines. I see a lot of guys, a lot of guys out there that's got good dogs. All of them seem to have a little touch of Mayday or a touch of Garner or a touch of Macho Buck. I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm trying to remember. What is it? GHKR, hello. Okay. Let me see if I can find it See, these like this cross here. I just pulled this up. Might want me to pull up Hella Storm. See, this is heavy yellow man, heavy Mayday. And you got your touches of buck. Crosses like that. Remember, I was just talking about that West Penn earlier? Bottom, yellow man. Out, dead serious. Remember the voodoo? Key factor was definitely this. Factors. Remember, it's double bred Nico. So that's automatically see all that? And this double bred, all this. You know, the out DSK brings a lot of ability. A lot of ability in these dogs. Key factor, green bean. Green bean. He's the factory player. Not taking nothing away from all this. You know, not taking nothing away from that. Because that's where the ability came from. The match dogs come from up here. That's the major factor in all this. Because that's the bottom. And you're putting that bottom right there back on top of that. You're putting all that bottom back on top of that right there. Somebody was asking me what makes Hella a good dog. It was her breeding. Because you're going to find a lot of buck. More Mayday. Now you're adding those key pieces that we know produces. You see what I'm saying? You always hear me say major factors. Major factors. You see what I'm saying? Even when you come down to this stuff right here. They go Rick Rude. You got DSK and you got Boyles. That's where all that ability comes from. But see, even when it comes down to these dogs right here, you see what I'm saying? Then you wonder why these dogs those major factors play such a big part. This is a major factor. You know what I mean? This bottom, Winky, major factor. It's the crosses. You got to find out when you breed, man, what is the major factor of what you're looking for. And you go after that and you stay on top of that and just keep compounding. Use it before you lose it. You know, so this bitch right here, for her to do anything, she has to go back into a working line. We was either going to go this way we either going to go this way because we got enough of that other stuff, or we could go yellow dog way. She got Little May's sister. Same thing. Or we can go that way. Either one. We can take one to the other one, the other to the other one. It doesn't matter. Whichever one come in first. Now, this right here is going to give you more Mayday on top of what's already here. There's your Amboss. And then you got your Walk-em-all. You got Walk-em-all here, and you're going to have Walk-em-all up here. That's really a heavy yellow cross with some boils and some DSK as you're running out.
Big shout out to my man Khalid Class coming back with another 2-piece. He said, seen any good gambler Virgil dogs in the past?
Well, Gambler had threw some pretty good dogs. Virgil, he threw some pretty nice dogs. The key is, are they still out there today? Because Gambler, Virgil threw some pretty nice dogs. First, let's look how he's bred. Key factor in the Virgil. Was it the top or the bottom? Well, not to me, it wasn't the top. Not taking nothing away from the top. Because they must have really liked it scratching and rough to breed Molly Sue to this dog. So you see how Molly Sue is bred. To me, that's the factor. You understand what I'm saying? To me, Molly Sue was the factor to Virgil, even to production power. Yeah, you could have bred her to a German Shepherd, probably got some shit. Because, see, these things really make a difference. Remember I said I like messing around with the top 5 registered merit dogs because I'm getting outside the box now. I'm looking for production. Production. It always seems to work for you when you have a good production in your cross. You gotta have it. Like you see all that Mayday this, Mayday that, and you know, but you're gonna see a lot of ROMs slinging around. You know what I'm saying? That is the key factor. And this is why he was able to produce. Because he had producing power in his bottom. His bottom is the key factor. If y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Loner was he could throw some pretty good dogs. You'll find him in several pedigrees out there. You know what I'm saying? You got Fly in here a couple of times, and then you got that champion Orphan Annie. You know, when you go pulling these dogs up, look at the breedings. No doubt. You still got production power. Production power. That's what it takes. You gotta have that in there if you want something out of it. Fly. Again, more production power. You know what I mean? That's the key piece to when you're trying to breed and make good crosses. Now, Virgil, if you looked at the dogs that he was crossed with, like this one right here, it's down there all when breeding. What was the major factor in his breeding? Virgil had major factor just in his bottom. Stevens Virgil has major, see it? Producing power. Production. You see that? Those play major parts. Taking a midget and breeding to him made her all win. But she already carried a production genetic in her. Production, double bred. Production was in her. Just like Molly Sue, production was in her. Not the top, but the bottom. You see what I'm saying? Virgil's production power came from the bottom, not the top. When you get outside the box, then you go looking for production. If you want this dog to become an all-winner, he got to have it in him to be able to do it. And he has production power in him because it's shown in his bottom. Same with Midget. She has production power in her because she has it in her top and bottom. Why? Because the daddy, all-winner. But look at the backside. See match dogs, you see registered merits, you see winners. Understanding that, you gotta understand that. Okay, I'm done. But y'all understand what I'm saying, fellas? And when it comes to breeding, pay close attention to what you're breeding. Pay close attention to your breedings. And again, as I point out, I'll show you what it looks like to have producing winners that can produce. Then I can show you winners that can't produce and show you why they ain't producing. And for the ones that can't produce, but every once in a while they can produce something, you go look at the bottom. Because you know it didn't come from up there, you better go look at the bottom. You know what I mean? You gotta know once you step out, there's another career. And if you want to have a good career and producing good dogs, you gotta have a production line of dogs in your pedigree. You know, unless you can come up with one, you know, on your own, and it takes years to be able to do that. You know what I mean? When you look at Bebe's pedigree, you be like, okay, we can see why Bebe produced those champions. Why? Because she had a production pedigree. You know what I mean? And anytime you take her and throw her into some Mayday stuff, she produced more winners. Why? Because you're throwing her right back into a production pedigree. All her champions came off with dogs off of Mayday. And keep in mind, Bebe's grandfather was Little Mayday, Kunta. Not Brat. Little Mayday, Kunta. That's why she was able to produce every time she was bred to a Mayday dog, she threw champions. But every time we was breeding back into our stuff, look what we was throwing. You know? Some dogs you can treat, like Red Boy, you can treat him like they did Yellow John. Like they did Yellow. Like they did Mayday. Like they did Buck. You can keep on throwing them on each other and he's going to keep on producing good shit. And if you can run across a line that can be able to do that, then you're working with a good working line. Stop paper matching and start diagnosing what you're doing. You know, and stop looking at the names and start looking at the major factors in how you're breeding. There's major factors in all great dogs. You know, if you can have a great winner that's coming off a production line of dogs, then that great winner has all the capabilities of producing, not only winning, but producing, because he's coming from a production side of dogs. That genetics, just like his fighting style, his producing ability is right there. Right there. Maybe got enough all wins in him that he was supposed to become a producer. Buck got enough production in him that when you cross Yellow, more production power. This is where Stone City gets their shit. Hardcore take Yellow and add the G, you can get some production. Why? Because not only getting box dogs, they having that genetic gene of production. See, that gene moves around just like the matching gene does. That ability to win. The same genetic that carry those winners is the same thing you look for when you come looking for a good producer. It's good to have a producer and some winners. That's for damn sure. You have a better chance of producing and having good dogs on your yard. You know, and when you're dealing with overseas dogs, you know, pay attention, because see, they're doing more matching dogs than the matching dogs in America. So, you know, it's not surprising that you see a lot of 4-time and 5-time winners with game losses or even losses. You know what I mean? Because they're more active, but what they do, you know, they're not more, to me, they're not as great as breeders we are, because we use science in the way good breeders breed, but they do a lot of breeding their match dogs. Really don't give a damn how they breed.
Big shout out to my man Khalid Class coming through with another 5 piece. He said, last question. What do you feel made Mayday Buck Dog so superior? Was Was it the style, or was it just the men behind them that made them great?
No, the dogs made them great. That's what it was. The dogs made them great. They just so happened to have the dogs. You know, Victor, when he got his hands on Mayday, Choice, and them, and then he got Dolly out the deal too. You know, the line was already set in stone. You know, I remember I told you, I said, I can take Dolly and Buck, and they be falling under that same thing, stabber. Stabber. You know, my nephew, he's arguing with me about the Golden Boy, and, you know, and he just don't get it, you know. I understand what he means when he says things about Golden Boy, but Golden Boy, you cannot put Buck on Golden Boy because Golden Boy does not have the productive power at all. Not at all. You go and you put Patrick's little tater on Buck, and then you go back down through that pedigree, and you'll understand where the production power comes from. With Buckets and all those type of dogs, where they come from. You see, the production power is right there. Look at Dolly, Polly. All of them are down there half brothers to Little Tater. All of them goes back to Stabber. Not the toot shit, but the Stabber shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, when he says Golden Boy, it don't match up. Because I can go through hit offspring on Golden Boy and it ain't going to take me nowhere. I can go on Little Tater and it's going to take me over there to Mayday. So now I got Buck in the Patrick stuff, in Mayday, in Grand Champion Buck, and in the Stone City stuff. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to see that nowhere else when you go looking for Golden Boy. You're going to go find it right there in Buck. Ain't none of that other shit work. So, no, I do not I believe what Pat Patrick said when he said that he came clean. And the proof is in the pudding. You know, Golden Boy does not produce nothing like Little Tater. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. Because Little Tater is still half brother to Dolly and Polly. Registered mayor producing shit. Not Golden Boy shit. Patrick's Tater shit. Rest my case. So I know you don't want to call me about that one tomorrow, little nephew. He's been going through it. He wants to give Golden Boy all the love, and then it's not going to happen.
You said Little Tater didn't either.
But Little Tater did. He had Stabber. Little Tater, look, let me tell you about Little Tater. You can't say Little Tater when you got Polly, Dolly, and Buck. I can take Dolly and Polly and relate that to what Grand Champion Buck does, you know what I'm saying, and have a connection between those three dogs. I can't do that with Golden Boy. There's no connection that would link up in Golden Boy that will prove anything about Buck having the ability to produce like he do in that Golden Boy line of dogs. It's not going to happen. It's not there. But if I can take that Buck and put that Tater back in there and line it back up to where it's supposed to be, you go down there and look at the Hollingworth dogs, and there's your answer. They ain't got no Golden Boy in them. None. And it works good when you put them on top of each other because they're all lined with, Buck lines up with Dolly and Polly. Don't neither one of them line up with Golden Boy. Neither one of them. It's just not there.
All three of them go back to who?
They all go back to Tater. And all of them got Stabber in them. Stabber. Stabber was the key to those dogs. Stabber. The Stabber dog. He's the key to them Bolio dogs. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Polly, Dolly, Mayday, and Buck. all production dogs. They were able to produce. And then they dogs off of them are able to produce. Off of them are still producing. Now, you go in the Golden Boy and try to find that same line to even try to compare. There's no comparison. You're not going to go nowhere. Golden Boy just ain't the dog, bro. Not saying he's a bad dog, but when it comes to carrying that genetic gene of production, it was not coming from Golden Boy. Golden Boy did not produce a line of dogs of registered mares like the Stabber dogs did. That Mahoney's tooth ain't the shit. It's not in them line of dogs. You cannot. It just don't match up.
Nephew said, I just want to see a little tater dog that's not buck.
Well, I just did it to Dolly and Polly. There you go. And they're not littermen. And little Tater is only half of them. He don't have no tooth in him. None. And neither does Dolly or Polly. None. But they're damn near related. Before I hang up tonight, y'all, I got to take this. I got to show everybody so y'all can understand what I'm talking about. Let me do this right quick, all right? Let me just do this right quick, and then we'll call it a night. I got to take him on a ride. So all of us can see it together. Let's go grab Mayday right quick. Let's go grab Dolly. There's little Tater and red, Lady in Red. There's little Tater and Lady in Red. That should answer your question right there. That's Dolly. And I'm not going to just stop there. I'm going to go not only the top down here, I'm going to go up here. Now, let me go grab Champion Buck. And remember, this is a litter mate to Dolly and Polly. Dolly and Polly. ROM, production power, production power, production power. Understand what I'm saying? Now, let me go grab Grand Champion Buck. Gonna be the same thing. Here, let me see if I can go Buck from somewhere else. I can do it like this. Little Tater. Production power. Production power. Dolly. Polly. Production power. There you go. You asked me about find one. I didn't find you a couple of them. Why are these dogs able to produce? Why was Mayday able to produce? He had a productive bottom and a productive top. Grand Champion Buck had a productive bottom and a productive top. There it is. You can go grab Golden Boy and you're not going to get nothing like this. Nothing. You see all these dogs? I can do this. I can get the same results over there on Mayday. Same results. Why did it work with Mayday? Why did Buck work with Awesome Baby? It's the same reason Mayday worked with Dolly, with Yellow. Yellow worked with Dolly. Production power. Production power. Production power. Look at all this production that we getting. All this production that we getting. That's the key. It shows. You're not gonna you're not gonna be able to take and turn this dog into Golden Boy and get nothing like that that's gonna match up to that. The only significant factor in this is right here. The proof is in the pudding. You breed this dog right here to a buck dog, this is a buck dog down here at the bottom, double bred little tater, breed into some yellow, you get a whole line of working dog. I can say the same thing when I did this shit right here with Awesome Baby. Same thing. That's just made it backwards. I rest my case. Nico Jr., all registered merits. You're not going to get that out of Golden Boy. I rest my case. Don't call me. Don't call me. Love you, baby. But you got to leave that one alone, all right, man? You got to leave that one alone, nephew.
Keep scratching.
I nephew. That's my nephew, y'all. He's not going to get it. He is not going to let that shit go. The man did the right thing when he came clean, man. And it makes sense. I mean, we don't have to take on the lie. We can analyze the truth and know that the truth is that he was off a little tater. That's all. But yeah, guys, just like you see me jump in there and point those things out, you know, you can do the same thing with the Frisco dogs. And wondering why they're still around. You got to find the common factors. And if you can find the common factors and what you're looking for, you can produce. The same way we produce champions is the same way you can produce producers. You have to have the genetic gene to be able to do so. That's why Red Boy was ROM all the way down the line. You got Red Boy, Yellow John, Yellow, Mayday, Liu Kang. I mean, look, damn, what more? Then I can even grab Buck and throw him in there and do the same damn thing. All these dogs have not only the match dogs in them, they had producing. They had the ROM genetic, the production genetic. Yellow Buck, Champion Nico Jr., Awesome B, all them damn dogs. Miss Nico, every one of them had production power. Miss Nico, Jeep. Because she produced a bunch of dogs that could when they bred her the Yellow Buck. Remember, I had the shit. I know. No, I got all of them out the deal. Shit. So it's all in the genetics. And match dogs. So it's in the genetics. If you understand the genetics and know what was the key factor into these particular lines of dogs, you can damn near reproduce the shit. You know? Everybody want to make their own soup. Me, I don't want to make my own soup. I want to eat the soup that's tasting good, and whether I made it or not, I just want to eat good. And that's what you got to figure out. Once you figure that out, then you know you're on to something. You know, there's just no way that you can compare Golden Boy to Little Tater. It's just not gonna happen. Well, hey y'all, thanks y'all. I didn't know it was that late. I was supposed to be done at 11. I don't know when we crashed out at, but I'm a whole hour plus over.
Big shout out to my man Hemi James in the house. What up, Hemi?
What's up, Hemi?
Hemi said, LOL, SLN, Scratch Line News. Yeah, lots still believe the first Golden Boy pedigree saying Buck structure favors Patrick's Maloney's crosses.
But they were wrong. Look at the dogs. That's all. I mean, when you got other lines of dogs, and when you got to compare the two, you start looking at the most familiar, and you know, they look like buck dogs. You know what I'm saying? It just shows. It just shows. Not taking nothing away from Golden Boy, but you know, let the genetics speak for themselves. The man came clean. You know, why call him a liar when he's trying to tell you the truth? He could have kept the lie there. But he didn't. He came and told you the truth. You know? There was no need for him to continue lying. Okay, Mike. Anybody else, y'all, before we call it a night?
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to everybody in the Shark Tank, all my people on the back street. Real productive. Appreciate it. I know a lot of you guys had some other pedigrees, but I was trying to get to people, make sure everybody at least got one of their pedigrees in. So appreciate the effort. Gentlemen, just want you to know I didn't forget about you. I was trying to be fair. Now, y'all help me out tonight. Come on. Come on. Just give me some damn thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Muscles. 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 Now, give your damn self some roses. Roses. The chat room needs damn roses.
Show your love, fellas.
Show yourself some love.
Look,
appreciate
man.
that, everybody.
Look, while y'all throwing pedigrees at me to pull up, man, look here. Throw some combo up in there. Let's talk about genetics and learning how to breed and things to look for. You know, these are good conversation pieces that we, you know, when we go diving in, looking at pedigrees and y'all got me analyzing, y'all might not like my answers because I'm going to come with you on my point of view. You know what I'm saying? You know, not all pedigrees is going to look good to me. You know? So I don't want nobody to be taking hard feelings about saying, hey, this is lacking here, lacking there, lacking here. This is what you need to do here. And I'm just being honest to you on my point of view. Don't take my point of view to heart. Just take it as being my point of view on my opinion. Okay, guys? But, you know, analyzing pedigrees is all fun and good. You know, when you get a chance to show off your pedigrees on the show. But, hey, analyze your pedigree and then let some of you guys put up your pedigree and tell me what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? You know, bring it to us and you explain it to us. And Mike said he's going to start opening up the phone line. And I mean, me personally, I say when you go send a number, you know, come in and come talk to us and tell us what you're trying to find and what you're trying to do and get and why you're trying to do it, you know. Remember, we're on the bus. Everything is fictional. So don't worry about it. This, hey, all imagination, it's all wishful thinking and wishful wishes, okay? So come on in and enjoy it, man, and let the whole crew, Shark Tank and all, get involved, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll find the right dog to breed your shit to. You know what I mean? Or they might be out there looking for you, you know, and find something that, hey, you got something that I need. You know, this is the way we communicate and congregate. You know what I'm saying? Hold it real, keep it real. Hold it down, hold it tight. Everything gonna be all right. No, I'm gonna move my chair, y'all, to let Mike come sliding up in here. You know how he has to do his epilogue. You know, I just want to let everybody know what to do.
Hey, I appreciate that, Mozzie. Mozzie Nation, I see you, fam. MB45, I see you, fam. Now, I know I got more than that out there still left in that damn chat Shark Tank. I need to at least get some thumbs up, some muscles, and some roses.
Oh, come on, y'all. Don't be slacking now.
I should not have to repeat myself when it comes to that.
Y'all start slacking, I'm going to start slacking. You know how I get. I get demotivated. Y'all better keep me motivated. I get lazy on you. Y'all ain't motivating me. I ain't don't motivate me to motivate you. I need motivation to keep doing this. I need motivation. I need everybody to appreciate what I'm doing. Y'all can show me that by just throwing some thumbs up and some roses. You know, throw yourself some roses. You know what I mean? Show us that you enjoyed the show. For all those guys that put out there in the super chat, just looking out. We appreciate everything, man.
That's a big shout out to Khalid. Class in the house. Appreciate the love, fam.
Yes, sir.
And Khalid, trust me, man, I would have been answering your questions even if you hadn't had a super chat, fam. But the fact that you did, you get priority. Just want you to know that, fam. Appreciate the love and welcome to the Shark Tank, fam.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, bro.
Let me see here. Hold on. Appreciate the love, Courtney. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, fellas. You know, keep letting me know, man, that what I'm doing here, man, is being appreciated, fellas. Please keep reminding me. Because if I feel like I'm losing you, then that means you don't need me anymore. You know, there's other things that we need to talk about and bring to the attention of the game, man. Hey, these doors is always open. You know, you got the emails right there. You know, the subjects that you guys want to discuss. If there's controversies y'all want to bring to the forefront, you know, be sure to let us know, man, and we can bring them out here on the show. You know what I mean? I might have to do a start over and start going back from the yard and start working on my way back up, because we have so many new viewers who probably ain't never been back that far to see what was going on back then when we first came in. You know, and there's a lot of good information back there. A lot of good information that most guys don't really get a chance to go all the way through. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of information that, you know, I might want to bring back through here and share. A lot of guys who've been with the show from the beginning, y'all can help out even more because y'all was there from the start.
That's right. Hey, we started this conversation about keeping it real. You know, so understanding, you know, and understanding my nephew out there. These are the things when you start talking about truth. Keeping it real. It is hard to do. Even when it comes down to your own yard, looking out there up on the yard and even looking at some of your pedigrees. You know, when does the truth become a major factor to you? When it don't work? And when it don't work, are you going to still be true to why it don't work? Are you going to fall into that play that where if it don't work, I'm going to put it off on somebody else? I mean, truthfulness go a long way in this game. Keeping it real goes a long way. You know, it's hard to do when it's happening to you. And that's why we push, don't be kennel blind. Don't try to make something work when it ain't gonna work, because certain things just not gonna fit. You know, a lie is hard to keep up, man, when you start dealing with genetics and traits. Y'all know y'all done heard it on plenty of times. You are not the father. Prior to that, look, he got his nose, he got his hair, he got his grandfather's eyes. Until that DNA come back and be like, you know, you are not the father. You know, that's the everyday life situation, man, that you should be able to relate to, because it happens, man. It does happen. And you're going to break, and every time it happens to a person, sometimes some of them be happy as hell that ain't them, and some of them be, you know, broken down hearted because they believe something so much that they wish it was and it wasn't. That's how these dogs work, man. So it's important that you protect yourself and learn and understand and analyze and look at what you can see for yourself to make something work for you. You don't need nobody to tell you. You did your research, you look, and I'm pretty sure Scratchline is a part of this camp. Boy, you know, when he put up a fight, he putting up a damn good fight, because it's not like I'm talking to somebody who don't know. But he had every right to stand on what he believed, which that's what makes it a good conversation. We're not here to try to change his mind.
He's trying to give him the facts.
Just trying to give him the facts, you know, because the truth will set you free, nephew. Hey, man. Look, nephew, you know you can always call in and we can always have this conversation. We do not mind arguing that point with you by putting up pedigrees and doing the research with you, because I think based on your knowledge, I know you're not just talking to be talking. You know what I mean? You know these pedigrees, you know these traits, you understand everything completely. You know, so that's why.
You just don't want to give it that cheap shit.
You know, you don't want. I understand, nephew. I understand.
He got to depend on all that other shit that ain't buck.
Right, you know what I mean?
You need buck over there where you at, bro. You know, you can't have him, man.
Nah. That's okay, nephew, because, you know, it's a good conversation. Yeah. But I want, you know, it's good for people to understand where you're coming from, because I know you're not just talking to be talking. You do have enough knowledge to understand what you believe in, and you stand 10 toes down on it. So that's what makes it a good conversation. But all you got to do is call and say you want to do that, and we'll open the forum up for you, fam, and we go at it. And that goes for any and everybody else out there. Because, again, we're always going to learn something from somebody else. You never stop learning in this game. Never. And it's important that you understand that everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a reason to believe in what they're doing. Nobody's here to knock what you're doing, but are you willing to stand 10 toes down on what you're doing and be able to stand behind what you're doing by showing the work? Because that's what it's going to all boil down to. I hear what you're saying, but show me what you're saying. Can it do what you said it can do? And if it can, show me. We try to play close to the lines because we do like all the other great ones did. We ain't never tried to redo anything. We try to do exactly what we see other people do. And if it's working for you, then damn it, it's supposed to be working for us. And that's just the bottom line, how we roll with it. And it makes it a lot more easier for us to go deal with the facts. Because we wasn't trying to make up a new sauce. We like what we tasted, and we're gonna work with what we see, and we're gonna see if we can do what they did by doing exactly what they did. And once we got it, we put our own shit to work. We didn't have to worry about nobody else doing it. We were trying to do it for ourselves. Just happened to be lucky enough that other people could do the same thing that we were doing with our own shit. I mean, what more can you ask? That's when you know you got something going for you. But learn anything from the night. Learn anything from the night.
That's right. If you learn anything from the night,
you stand 10 toes down on what you're doing and how you're doing it regardless, because only you understand what you're doing. And until you have reason not to believe in what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. And that's what I love about it. Because we believe in always. We believe hardly that you always scratch the wind. 10 toes down, baby.
Always, baby.
But keep it real.
Keep it real.
Keep it real. What's your dog? You got a couple dogs of the night, man.
Yeah, sir.
Let's see what these couple dogs of the night.
Start with this one right here, dog of the night, right there. I'm not biased. I just like this breed. It's my first grand champion dog of the night right there. When you like it, look like, man, stop it. Here's my other one. I'm sharing two dogs of the night tonight. Oh, that was him. Okay, there's my other one right there. I looked so much like hell. I ain't got my glasses on. That's my other one. It just so happened, you know, they got Mayday in them. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened, that's all. You know, we got 2 grand champions in the house tonight, then, you know. Then, you know, we got the other one, you know, there's more Mayday stuff over here, too, you know. It's funny. We got a little Amboss in all 3, you know, and these dogs, you know, just showing you. It just shows you. Just showing you. It's only by coincidence, because I'm not the one to put them up here. Y'all sent them up and I went through them. It damn near tells you what works. Yellow works with a lot of stuff, fellas, because it gives you that production power. Enjoy yourself. Have a good evening. My dogs of the night. Thank you for sending this out here, fellas.
Shout out to my man, you're right, so rock. I see you, fam. Shout out to my man, Elise. I see you, fam. Shout out to my man Mr. Eric Watson. I see you.